Hi, I'm back. Short video, short. I wanted to talk about like some stories, folklore or truth. I don't know. They're just stories that are out there. And I want to talk about my own personal strange things that I've witnessed. I feel like there's good and bad animals in the world, and I like spoke on like people carrying spirit animals in past videos. And so I want to talk about some of the weird things that happened to me, and then I'm gonna share some other stuff. But first, all the glory to God. Let me not forget that. Most important thing. Okay. So my first story was let's see in which order I want to talk about it. So, I've heard people talk about like the men in black. I'm not sure if they're true or not, but I think it's maybe they're people with bad spirits. I don't know. But I remember one time, this is my story, a weird thing I noticed. I was living somewhere that was, I guess it was in view of another like a business that it's like a small, restaurant type of business. And I think it was summer, and it was hot, and I don't think the sun was bright. So I don't know if it was humid or if it was early morning. It was a while back, a few years back, so I can't recall exactly. But I thought it was weird because there was a guy in there that went in there, and I don't even recall him ordering food or getting food. Uh, but I had seen him in there because I could see him from the window where I lived all the way down there, and he was dressed like a men in black. He had the white shirt with the black suit, and he had a briefcase, and he had the shades on. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's so freaking hot. Like, why is that guy there with that suit on? And I just thought it was the weirdest thing. I don't really know what he was doing there. I think I seen him talk to the guy that was taking orders for like a minute, but like he was just in there, and he was facing in the direction I was at. I looked at him, but he couldn't see me because I was in a window. But really weird. So I was like, wow. In my mind I thought, wow, that guy reminds me like of a Men in Black type of thing. He just stood out. Like, I just thought the shades were not appropriate for the weather we were having that day, and the whole suit. I was like, whoa, like it's super hot out. Like, why is he wearing that? And I don't recall it being like super sunny, but it was hot because it was during the summer, but I didn't understand why the shades were needed either. Or maybe it was close to evening time and it was hot. I just can't remember what time of day it was, but I just kept thinking the glasses were not called for, or the whole suit. Yeah, and he didn't look hot or sweaty or anything. So, yeah. And then I had another thing. So I was working this job one time, and I had to work in these buildings, and I had to be there early in the morning sometime. There would be two of us only. And it was weird because these facilities, because I had been in several of them, because they would make me go to different places to work. And they had on top of each area you worked on top, if you looked up, they had these little black little holes. They were like oval holes, and they were shaded black, maybe net or something there. And they had them all along the top of the buildings, and I was told that they had like a walkway up there so that people can walk up there and watch us doing our job. Like, I don't know who was ever up there, because I don't even know where the entrance was for those walkways for they could be up there, or I never seen an exit for those walkways, and you could never hear, or you couldn't even see if somebody was up there. So I always thought that was really weird. And I'm going to say something funny too, because if you ever watch the Men in Black, they reference this job, and then they said all the people that worked there were aliens. So I thought that was hilarious, because yeah, I always thought that was really a weird thing that they had in all their buildings. It's like where are these people coming in from, and where do they go out, and who is up there, and why are they watching us work? Like, and how you don't even know, like, they could be there all day watching you. Very weird. Yeah, very weird. Anyways, I thought that was hilarious. So, yeah, so, yeah, this, this is all the weird things that I've seen in my, over time. And then the other thing I was going to talk about is like animals, like some animals can carry bad spirits. And I'm not saying all animals, but some, like a year back, was it a year back? I had like three coyotes, like coming, they were like trying to encircle me. They were walking towards me, and I was with my dog. And I lifted up my dog because I was going to carry it because I got scared because I was like, oh no, they're going to come for my dog. And I started picking up rocks and throwing them at them, and I was yelling at them so they could go away, but they wouldn't. They kept coming, and I was like, oh crap, I'm going to have to fight these coyotes because I'm alone out here. But I had kept walking, and I seen a guy that was getting ready because it was early in the morning. He was getting ready for his work shift, and he had some of his stuff with him, and he had a broom there. So I told him, can you please help me? Because these coyotes, I wasn't even near my home. I was like, can you help me? Because they're like, they were being aggressive and they weren't going away. They were coming, and I was trying to get away from them. So he shooed them away with the broom like he was going to hit them, and they got scared, so they finally left. But they weren't scared of me. So sometimes I feel like I have seen coyotes before, and they've not acted that way, even when I'm with my dog. Um, Again, coincidence, I don't know. Animals that have like bad spirits in them, I don't know. That's all I could think of. And then a couple of years before that, I'm gonna get into this other story. I was walking my dog, same place, but in a different area. I was further away from my house this time, and it was already getting dark. It was like dark already, you know. And something started flying at me. At first I thought, oh, they're after my dog, but my dog was on a long leash, so it was like trying to get at me, and I kept ducking because I was like, oh crap, something's trying to get me. It like flew at me, like swooped down on me like 3 or 4 times, and I kept just getting low because I didn't know what it was. And then I seen that it went in the tree, and I seen the area went, and so I decided to put my flashlight to see what it was. And I seen the black eyes, all saw black eyes. They were out. It was an owl. It looked right back at me. I seen the whole body, everything. And I was like, dang, like this bird was trying to kill me. And the reason why I say that, because if I don't know if you've ever known, I've done research, and there has people who have died because the talons on the owls are so sharp that they have clawed people in their head so deep where they like died. So I felt like, that owl possibly could have had an evil spirit. It was attacking me. I don't know. Coincidence? I don't know. Very strange. But I wanted to go into another story from that story. So there is a she demon, and they call her Lilith. Folklore, truth, I don't know. There was a place in the Bible that I read something that they talk about a owl she demon, and some people believe they are talking about Lilith somewhere in Isaiah. I don't remember if it was 34:4. I don't remember. Anyways, you can look it up. Is it about her? I don't know. It doesn't personally say her name, but some people believe. I'll just tell you the story of Lilith, and then, like I said, truth, folklore, I don't know. So apparently the story is that she was also made from the clay or the dirt, dust, whatever the atom was made from. She also was made at the same time. But she didn't want to be obedient to Adam because she felt like she was an equal. So she was disobedient and left, or I don't know, she left the Garden of Eden on her own. And she became the wife of the devil. Devil means, adversary, but his real name is Samael. It's Samael. Samael. Devil's real name. If you didn't know. And anyhow, I read other stories, folklore, truth, I don't know, where, so she was disobedient. She didn't want to be obedient to Adam, so she left. She went with the devil. She became the devil's wife. They were spawning demons. And because they were spawning demons, God went and castrated Samael, the devil, castrated him so he would not be able to create more demon spawns with Lilith. Truth, folklore, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah. So these are stories I've read. Truth, folklore, I don't know. But yeah, and the Native Americans, like, in their tradition, they believe like owls, they're really against birds, or specifically, I know owls for sure because, in my family, we grew up, we don't like owls either, white owls particularly, but I hear that natives don't like any owls. They believe they carry like bad spirit or bad omen if you see a white owl. For my culture, bad omen, it's a bad spirit, it means bad luck, whatever. But I was told that natives believe, like, some natives believe all birds, some believe just all the owls. I don't know. But I'm not native, so I don't really know all their culture. But I kind of believe maybe that's where that comes from, because there are pictures where Lilith is shown to be like a half owl, half person type body, like that is her animal. Like Jesus is the lamb, the devil is like that, the goat, you know what I mean? She is the owl, and she's a she demon, and they believe she does, like, well, she made a bunch of demon kids with the devil, obviously, but I'm not sure what all she does to people, but it's a demon, right? And when that owl was attacking me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a demon. It's a demon attacking me, trying to take me out. I don't know. Yeah. But I had one more story, crazy story to tell. And this goes with that one building that had all the weird things, because I was working at that job at that time. And the peak holes. And that was around the time I seen The Man in Black. So this all kind of correlates with the same time frame. I had a lot of weird experiences at that time. Some other ones that aren't really worth talking about. But I wanted to say this one. I was working one morning. It was early in the morning. And my job started at 3 a.m. We were help unloading trucks and with their, their stuff. And it was just me and another girl, and we were in the building alone. And they had this, like, the door that you will roll down, like if you were, like a car garage, it would roll down. Well, it was rolled up, but then they had these plastic flaps, to keep the elements out, like, just like a blockage, but it's open, right? And we were there working, and outside we started hearing somebody yelling. He was like crying, like, help me, I kept pouncing. He was like, help me. And I looked at the girl and I was like, should I go out there and see if they need help, because obviously somebody's out there. And they kept saying it like a lot of times, they were right outside. And I was like, should I go out there and see if they need help? And her face looked so pale, like white, like she was scared. And she said no. they had these other flap doors, but they didn't really lock shut. She goes, no, we're gonna close those and we're gonna push these heavy containers that we had in front of it, because she didn't want them to come in. She was scared. And I was just like, when I seen the fear in her face, I was like, oh, okay. You know, because I was like, oh, maybe she's right. Maybe there's something out there that's trying to draw us away from the building, you know? So I go, okay. And then, like, not even but 5 minutes later, one of the truck drivers that we were waiting for pulls up. And then we're like, oh, so we open the door for him, you know, because I think he backed up the truck into that doorway. So then we opened it back up. But when he came in, his face was white as a sheet. And he said that he seen a person out there, but he didn't see the face, but he said he seen them like walking off. But he said they were so tall, and he said they were wearing like a hooded like sweatsuit. But he said the way they walked wasn't normal. Like it didn't look like human. He said it didn't walk like a person walks. He looked so like he seen something that frightened him. And he looked so scared. Whatever he seen, I don't know, but I could just see it in his face. He said it was so tall and it didn't walk normal, like it didn't move like a regular person moved. And that's all he said. And he looked so scared. And yeah, so and it was the time I worked at that job. I did see some other weird things when I worked at that job, but nothing really worth talking about. But yeah, so there is a lot of weird things in our world that we don't know about, or at least I feel like we don't know about or have not been really talked about. I question things. I do have a more open mind because of these experiences, but yeah, I still question them, and all I can say is there's a lot of things out there we don't know about, and a lot of things carry evil spirits that we don't understand. So yeah, I'm sure you have your own stories, but yeah, anyways, this was just a ramble video. But anyhow, God bless you. Say a prayer for me. I'll say one for you. Bye.